and I'm here with my food guide. So I'm going to talk about my food guide, what it's about, and explain it a little bit. But it's for Little Choices Matter. So if you don't know what Little Choices Matter is, then you'll want to watch one of my previous videos because I talk about it. I'm really excited about this food guide. I've been working on it for quite a while. I've been helping people either online or, here in my local area. I have a couple of people that have come to me and said, I want you to help me. I need help. I'm not losing weight and I need to lose weight. And so I've basically been working with a lot of people. And so I came up with this food guide. And it's a very simple reference is what it is. And it has worked for just about every person. It's a reference, just a range, and I'll go into that in a minute. And it's a guide, and that's why I call it a food guide. It works for me. It's worked for my clients. It's worked for people that I've helped online. And so, but if you exercise more, you have more of a workout than, say, one of my clients, then you're going to have to adjust it accordingly. So you have to figure out what works for you. Plus, your body is maybe different than everybody else's, right? Yes, it is. So what works for one person may not work for another. So, and there's a lot of examples out there that you'd have, like if you can't have gluten products, then you have to adjust it. So this is just a guide. And so the reason I came up with this is one of my clients was not losing weight. And she came to me and she's like, Carol, I just don't know what's going on. I am just not losing weight. And she's like, I'm getting in, the calories that, I should be. And sometimes I even eat less calories than, I figured out in this program that you figure out how many calories you need in order to lose weight. But it's not working, she said. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to come over and we're going to go through your foods. So I went to her house and we went through her foods, and we went through her daily log, like online you can use FitDay or Sparks People, whatever. And we went through her daily log, and I realized that, yeah, she was indeed getting in the right amount of calories. However, she did not have what I call food groups. She was not getting in all your basic food groups. And you remember when you were a kid and you went to school and you learned about the food pyramid and the food groups and all of that? Well, this is kind of my version of the food pyramid, the food group, the food guide. And so I realized that she wasn't getting in near enough vegetables. And so I gave her this guide, and I'll just kind of tell a little bit about what it is. And again, you need to adjust this to whatever works for you. But I have labeled them different, and this is the first page, and it's all like with the vegetables. And there's a number of different vegetables. So I break them up into the different vegetables, and then I write next to it what I feel the servings need to be. So, for instance, I preach all the time that you need dark green leafy vegetables, especially if you want to drop some weight or you're in detox. And 2 cups is what I think is the minimum. So I think you should have 4 cups of vegetables a day. So you'll just want to pick from, the leafy greens, and you'll want to try and get 2 cups in. And then you can have some of the other vegetables, like up here is celery and asparagus. Or you can do something, that's a little bit more starchy. Although when you detox, I don't suggest that. But you can do corn and squash. Oh, squash is so good for you. Sweet potatoes, everything. And then, of course, there's the legumes. And so this is just key that you get in a wide range of these vegetables and legumes. And here is the fruits and the whole grains, and then I go into the snacks. So I'm trying to be nice and fit in some yummy stuff. So here's the fruit servings, 2 to 3 per day. I personally do not do over 2 because fruit affects me. It's just one of those things that I've learned with my body, and so I don't normally do more than 2 fruits. So that's one of those things where you can do 2 to 3. If your body can take more, great, but I want to make sure that you get in all of these foods. And so it's not like you need to have, 1 cup of this and 1 cup of that and 4 cups of that and 3 cups of that and oh my gosh, how am I going to eat all this stuff? No, it's just a guide. So it just gives you some ideas, but you need to get in at least every group. So you should get in a vegetable every day. You should get in a legume. You should get in a fruit. You should get in a whole grains. Whole grains are so important for us. They're so good for us. And you can check out all this stuff on the website. We'll be putting up more information as we go. And then, of course, the snacks. We don't have to have the snacks, but I wanted to include them because I'm a snacker. And then I talk about the protein, and so there's a list on protein, and that will again determine, you know, whether or not you work out. So if you, like when I do Pilates, I do more protein than on a day that I don't do Pilates. So you'll want to make sure and eat enough protein, which my client was not getting in enough protein. I think like in a day she was having like a half of a chicken breast. And so it's just not enough protein. And whether you do it through a protein shake or whether you do it from, you know, animal protein, it's really important that you get protein in. And then I go into the beneficial fats and oils, which are, I think you should have it every day. And so I include on that what I classify as beneficial fats and oils. It includes nuts and seeds and avocado and, you know, butter and that kind of stuff. So, and then the good healthy oils, and so I talk about that. And then I go into the coconut products. Now, I'm not going to talk a lot about the coconut products because I don't want to go over my 10 minutes here. But I do want to say that I really classify that in a whole different category. I think you should have coconut oil every day. So I give you a couple of coconut products that you can pick, and it kind of helps you decide, okay, if I have 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, then I shouldn't have any other coconut products. Because what a lot of people were doing was they were having the 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, and then they were eating, eating like something with coconut flakes, and they were adding nuts, and they were having like 4 ounces of nuts with coconut flakes, the trail mix, all healthy stuff. However, you have to limit it because you have to, first of all, you have to make sure you get in all the other stuff, but then you have to limit, you know, the amount that you have, because like for me, nuts affect me. So if I have more than 1 to 2 ounces of nuts, I gain. And so you just really have to watch it. And so I think a lot of people that, you know, they just go, oh, like this chocolate, the chocolate candies that I make. And if you haven't checked out my chocolate crunch candies online, you've got to try them. They're delicious. But you just can't go and say, oh, coconut oil is great for us. I can have it every day. I can eat all this candy all day long, you know, or whatever. You just can't. It's what's important is that you make healthy choices and that you find a balance and that you get in all your food groups that I have listed here, and that you make sure that you get in the amounts that you need, and don't fill up on protein so that you have no room for vegetables, because you have to have a good balance, because if your diet is too high in protein, it's really not good for your system. A day or 2 is fine, but if you do it every day, it's just not good for your system. So, and it clogs us up. So make sure you don't do that. So go to littlechoicesmatter.com and sign up for the email updates, and you'll get this sent right to your email. Make sure you check your junk box or your spam folder if you have one, just in case it goes to that, because you'll want to make sure you finish the steps to sign up. And enjoy the food guide. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And bon appetit.